प्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं हरि ओम तत्सत् ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जगन्नाथ स्वामिनिति नामिने नमाचार्य पदानि त्यागप्रदाने गौरवप्रदाने जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna everyone. I would like to welcome all of you to this session. This is a Saturday Srimad Bhagavatam class, and today is going to be a very interesting and very insightful class because we're going to hear the conclusive instructions of Lord Kapiladeva. So Lord Kapiladeva is the incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So first of all, let us try to understand who is Lord Kapiladeva, who is Devahuti, and who is Kardama Prajapati. So let's start from there. So the first point is that Lord Kapiladeva is an incarnation of Lord Krishna. Generally, we do not hear the incarnation of Lord Kapila because what is very familiar is the Dashavatara. Right? We all understand Rama, Narasimha, Vamana, Kurma Avatar, all of this. But actually, in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 22 incarnations mentioned. So the 22 incarnations mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam are listed in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So they are also called as the Leela Avatara. Okay. That is like the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So every incarnation has a specific purpose. So because Lord Krishna said, Paritranaya cha sadhunam vinashaya cha tushkruta dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Right? So Lord Krishna has said that he will come in every yuga, yuge yuge. Every yuga he will come. Is it not? So every yuga he comes for certain purpose. Lord takes incarnation. So Lord Kapila is also one of the incarnation. So in the listing given in Srimad Bhagavatam, 22 avatars, Lord Kapila is the 5th incarnation. And his description is given like this, that Lord Kapila is the foremost among perfected beings. He gave an exposition of the creative elements and metaphysics to Asuri Brahmana, for in course of this time, this knowledge has been lost. And we do not have information about what knowledge he has given for the Asuri Brahmana, but we have the knowledge, or we have the information about the Sankhya philosophy, the knowledge that he has given to his mother. So what is Lord Kapila known for? Sankhya. Sankhya. Sankhya philosophy means analysis of the material elements. You see in the previous edition of the Bhagavad Gita as it is, Srila Prabhupada had named chapter number 6 of Bhagavad Gita as Sankhya Yoga. Why he named that Sankhya Yoga? Of course, now the name is Dhyana Yoga, the name of the chapter in the latest editions. But why he named it Sankhya Yoga is because if you analyze the instructions given by Lord Kapila Deva to Devahuti, they're very, very important and very, very interesting instructions. Okay. So I'll tell you. So Devahuti is the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu. Okay. So she's not an ordinary lady. So try to understand that. Okay. Devahuti is the, first of all, Devahuti and Kardama Muni are the parents of Lord Kapila. So Lord Krishna, he takes incarnations. He does not have any parents. Neither does he have any birth, is it not? He is Aja. He does not take birth. But yet, he does pastimes. For the sake of a pastime, he appears to have taken an incarnation. Okay. So every incarnation has a purpose. So similarly, this incarnation, the purpose of this incarnation, Lord Kapila Deva, is for instructing the Sankhya, the philosophy of Sankhya Yoga, analysis of the material elements. See, there are different people and different mentalities, right? So they say different strokes for different folks. Like that, there are some people who understand with empirical knowledge, who like to understand more in an analytical, or you can call it scientific kind of an analysis. So, for example, if you present someone that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and you must chant his names, one may not be able to take it immediately because they're not convinced, because they want some logical explanation. Okay, they want some metaphysical analysis. So for them, Sankhya Yoga is very interesting, and definitely for all of us also, because every chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam is convincing the living entities and reminding the living entities about the eternal duty. Our eternal duty is to serve God. Our eternal duty is to serve Krishna. So we have forgotten Krishna. So Srimad Bhagavatam reminds us about Krishna. And let us see this Lord Kapila Deva, who is born to Kardama Muni and Devahuti, right? So Kardama Muni was a great saintly person. He was a great devotee, and he performed devotional service through yoga system, right? Through the meditation yoga system. He used to meditate upon the Lord Vishnu. He was such a great devotee that Lord himself appeared in front of him. And he was so pleased by his devotional service that tears rolled out of his eyes. Tears rolled out. And then that tears became Bindu Sarovara. The tears became a lake. So such a great personality, Kardama Muni. And Devahuti is not ordinary. So they are like a wonderful couple made for each other. Devahuti is the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu. Swayambhuva Manu, we know, is such a great personality. Right? There are 71 Manvantaras. For each Manvantara, there is one Manu. Right? So Manu is like the king of, presiding king who is maintaining the religious principles. It is an avatar of Lord Krishna. It is a Shakti Avesh avatar of Lord Krishna. So Manu is such a great personality. And his own daughter, Devahuti, he gave in marriage to Kardama Prajapati. So, and then Kardama Muni was personally blessed by Lord Vishnu that I will take birth, as your son. Okay. This is a wonderful thing. And Kardama Muni had set a condition to Swayambhuva Manu that as soon as he will get children, he will leave the house. That was the condition explained to Swayambhuva Manu. And Swayambhuva Manu and Devahuti, they were both okay for that, willing for that. But Kardama Muni shall leave the home after getting children. All right. So now let us see. This is all like, we are doing Canto number 3. So starting from chapter number 22. Starting from chapter number 21. Okay, till 33. We are right now in the last chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 3. It's a conclusion of the Sankhya Yoga. Right? So it's going to be very interesting. So Kardama Muni, he tells that, Lord Kapila Deva will be born. Okay. And Lord Kapila Deva is Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, who is born in the womb of Devahuti. Right. And then what happens is he will leave the house. Kardama Muni will pray, do the prayers to Lord Kapila, that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he will leave the house. Right? And then what happens? Devahuti starts asking questions. Now starts the interesting point, right? Devahuti starts asking questions to his son, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just imagine if God himself is born as a child, right? How nice it would be. So the question is this: please dispel my illusion, which has arisen due to my false ego and created by your Maya. This is a question that Devahuti is asking to Kapila Deva. That see, what happens is me and mine. This is the false ego, right? See, what happens is the feeling of this is mine, this is yours, these people are ours. I'm so great, I did so much for you. All this is called false ego. Okay, this false ego keeps increasing. This is because of Lord Krishna's Maya. This is Krishna's Maya. That's the reason why we keep saying, I have done it, I have done it. But actually, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that everything is done by the modes of material nature. Ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. We are not doing anything. We are not the doer. We must not consider ourselves as the doer. We may have done some great achievements, that's fine. But whatever we have done is because the three modes of material nature have impelled us to work. The Rajoguna mode of passion has pushed us to work. That's why we have worked. If that mode of passion was not there, we would not have worked. So this is all Maya. Because of Maya, we are doing all our activities. Because of the three modes of material nature, we are doing the activities. So she's asking, so you are like the sun who has come to dissipate the darkness of ignorance of the universe. I take your shelter. So please teach me this, right? And dispel my ignorance. So that is the prayers done by Devahuti to her son, right? And then Lord Kapila Deva goes on with a very deep explanation about various things like characteristics of time and importance of bhakti and about the 24 elements and benefits of hearing this, about Jiva, Prakriti, Purusha, what is Pradhana, what is Mahat Tattva, what are the 24 elements. So he goes on with a deep analysis. Okay. And yet one interesting point in Sankhya Yoga given by Kapila Deva is, it is purely devotional in nature. That means just because he is talking about some empirical knowledge about Pradhana, about Mahat Tattva, about Brahman, about Atma, he does not forget mentioning about Krishna, about the glories of devotional service. He says very clearly, he is Krishna himself. So he says, everybody must be doing devotional service unto me. So this is a very interesting point, because there are a lot of schools in India which are also called as the impersonalist schools. They call themselves as the school of Jnana, but in the name of Jnana, they do a lot of deep analysis and they give a lot of philosophical explanations, completely ignoring the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So for them, bhakti is just only a means to attain something. So they say, just like pole vault, you see, pole vault, the person who is doing a pole vault across the wall, they use a stick and they come running and they take the stick and then they hold the stick and then they vault and then they will just throw the stick and jump across that wall. They say bhakti is like that. So for us, Krishna is like that. One stick which we will throw, will use and throw. That is their principle. So that's like once Prabhupada also demonstrated that. Prabhupada once said, okay, give me your hand. He was inside water and he said, give me your hand. And the disciple took his hand and he brought him out. And then Prabhupada just pushed him away. He was confused. He was thinking, oh, did I do something wrong? Did I do some offense? What happened? Prabhupada started laughing. He said, this is the attitude of Mayavadi. The Mayavadi attitude is like this. Use and throw. For them, spiritual master is use and throw. Devotional service is use and throw. That means I shall use devotional service to become liberated. After that, throw. The spiritual master is not required. I shall throw it. This is the attitude of a Mayavadi. But Krishna consciousness is not like that. Mama janmani janmani ishware bhavatad bhaktira haituki tvai. That means, oh my dear Lord, please grant us devotional service life after life. Right? And when we take initiation with the spiritual master, the vows are very interesting. The vows, in that we say that I am accepting you as the spiritual master eternally for all lifetimes. So what it means is that for every lifetime, we are accepting one spiritual master as the guru. Not that for this lifetime, you are my guru, I will learn a little bit of spirituality and I will throw you. That's not our attitude. Okay. Our attitude is like forever we are, serving Lord Krishna. Forever we are serving Guru. So Lord Kapila's instructions are also perfectly in line with the devotional service. They're not like the impersonal jnana part, where there is a heavy jnana given and completely forgetting Krishna. Right? It's not like that. So that's a very wonderful thing. So while Kapila is giving all these instructions, he's explaining about yoga system. First, he explained about 24 elements. He explained about bhakti. He explained about the yoga system. And at every point of time, he keeps stressing one point, that bhakti towards the Lord is the most important thing. And he recommends Tivra Bhakti. Tivra Bhakti. Tivra Bhakti means intense devotional service. He does not recommend dilute devotional service like a farce. Just like some kind of a Hippocratic eyewash kind of a devotional service. Very serious devotional service. We will see how Devahuti takes his instructions as it is, very seriously performs devotional service. How seriously she performed, we will see in the next class. Devahuti took the instructions to her heart and she performed devotional service so severely, so seriously, and she went back to Godhead. In the same lifetime, she went back to Godhead. That is the purpose of devotional service. It's not meant for some kind of eyewash, kind of a daily routine, 10 minutes kind of a dilution. Okay. So that's the important point. Kapila, he recommends intense practice for a long time. That is also important. Tivraya bhaktya chiram. It's not that we come to Krishna consciousness and we join the classes for maybe for a month or two and then we disappear and we stop chanting and we forgot everything. No, it's a long time. It's like it's a 30-year practice. It's a 50-year practice. It's a 100-year lifetime practice. We should not think, oh, should I chant 50 years, 100 years? Swayambhuva Manu, he chanted for crores of years. It has been given some 30 crore years. 30 crore years his routine has been given. 30 crore years, he's not tired of doing devotional service. He's doing 30 crores of years, he's doing devotional service and still he's very happy. And he went back to God. Right? So we should not think like that I shall do it for some 1 day, 7 days and I'll finish it off. So this is the way to do it without any desire for fruitive activities. Bhakti should not be performed with some desire. Even we should not be thinking that I shall get some punya. That's why I shall do bhakti. This is a common attitude, right? Why do we go to God? We say either for the sake of money. Right? There are some people who ask, "Kyun karna hai bhakti?" Why should we do bhakti? Bhakti करने से पैसा मिलेगा? Will I get money if I do bhakti? अगर भक्ति करने से पैसा मिलेगा तो हम करेंगे भक्ति. There's some people who say like, right? This is not the correct mood. That will I get money? Will I get something by doing bhakti? That's wrong. It's absolutely very materialistic mode. Okay, without desire for fruitive activities, we should execute our prescribed duties and do bhakti in a transcendental way. So now Kapila Deva instructs about Ashtanga Yoga, how to meditate upon Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is like the yogis, they meditate upon the limbs of Lord Vishnu. So when you meditate upon the limbs of Lord Vishnu, what happens is the modes of material nature, like especially the mode of passion, mode of ignorance will come down. This is the reason why we are supposed to meditate upon the limbs of Lord Vishnu. Right? Kriteya dhyayato Vishnu. So in the Krita Yuga, the recommended process was dhyana on Vishnu. Right? And these yogis or devotees who are meditating upon the Lord, slowly their mode of passion and mode of ignorance will go, and slowly they will be able to establish and come to the process of Bhakti Yoga. Right? Let us see. And then Lord Kapila explains about various classes of Bhakti. See, in Bhakti also there are classes. We cannot think every Bhakti is the same. Bhakti is transcendental, but depending upon the way that we execute Bhakti, it can be classified into 4 types. Again, mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance, and transcendental, nirguna. Mode of ignorance Bhakti means envious, violent, pride, and anger. It's like if anybody is going to disturb my Bhakti, I will shout on them. Or I will do Bhakti out of enviousness. It's like, oh, if he can do so much, I can do more because I am a better person. That's why I will do more. Right? If he can do that, I will do more. Or like pride, like I have done it. Or out of anger, see, I will show it to you. This is called mode of ignorance. Mode of passion, bhakti, desire for material enjoyment. That, my dear God, I will chant Hare Krishna. Please ensure that my children will get nice job. They are nicely settled. I'll chant all the 16 rounds properly, please. So this is mode of passion. Mode of goodness means desiring to free oneself from karma. And worshipping the Lord as duty, offering that is karma yoga. That is like desiring to free himself from karma. You know, for sometimes we think like this, right? Oh my God, there's so much of suffering in this material world. There's so much of karma. I don't know how many sinful activities I've done in my past lifetimes and what all karma is in store for me right now and how much I have to suffer. So my dear Lord Krishna, I'm going to chant 16 rounds. Please ensure that all my karma is gone and I shall not suffer. Okay. And I have heard that, you know, that we are supposed to be doing all of this bhakti and all. It's our duty. Therefore, I'm doing it. This is mode of goodness. But it is said, Kapila Deva is saying, not even mode of ignorance, obviously, definitely not. We should not do devotional service out of envy and violently and say, Jai Sri Ram, like that. No, definitely not that. Or mode of passion and that mode of material enjoyment, that fame and opulence, that desire for fame and opulence. Okay, if I shall do bhakti, people are going to praise me. They're going to say, you are a very nice devotee. You have become a devotee now. Then they will praise me or something like that. Or something like, if I'm going to do devotional service, I have heard from the Shastras that we get so much of benefit. We can enjoy so much of heavenly kingdoms or we can get so much benefits. So that is also mode of passion, not recommended. Mode of goodness is even, you know, thinking that, you know, my karma will be gone. Let me become liberated. That is also wrong. The correct attitude is unadulterated devotional service, nirguna bhakti. That is hearing the qualities of Lord without any obstruction, without any interruption, without any motivation. Just like a unconditional love, unconditional service to Krishna. That is called as the Nirguna Bhakti. Right? And devotees, they even reject liberation if they are not going to get service. So if the devotees are proposed that, you will get liberated, but you will not have bhakti, or you will not have any service to do to Lord, they will say, we don't want such liberation. We want service to Lord. So this is the mood. This is the proper mood of bhakti, right? So like that, Lord Kapila is explaining. And then Lord Kapila continues to explain about life and death of a materialistic person, right? How a materialistic person is deluded and captured by this Maya of Krishna. And how he is transmigrating from one living entity to another living entity, one body to another body, from one human, from maybe some animal body, bird body, different bodies, right? Maybe there is a centipede, 100 feet, the 100 foot for one kind of an insect, centipede, right? So like that, many insects are there, birds are there. But the interesting point is that even when somebody is within any kind of an abominable species also, the person feels happiness. They feel that I'm happy, that I'm good. What is wrong? Everything is fine. Why do I need bhakti? I'm all fine only. Even if you ask a dog also, if you ask a stool-eating hog also, it will say the same thing. Why do I need anything? I'm very good. I have a nice family. Everything is so good here. That is called illusion. Even in the hell also, in a hell, there are so many hellish punishments. For example, that is Kumbi Pakam. That means where the offenders or the people are fried in burning hot oil. So after frying out and coming, the person will be like relaxing and saying, and maybe they'll be talking to their friends and they'll be saying, hey, how are you? Do you want to get out of this hell? They will say, no, of course not. We like this place. This is our place. We love our place. This is our city. We like our city. So it's like that. That's what is said here. Kapila Dev is saying that even in the hell also, species will find satisfaction. They'll feel happy in any kind of species. Even a snake, everybody is feeling satisfaction that they're fine. So like this materialistic person is not having broader intelligence and is attracted to family life. And after getting a family, he gets a deep-rooted attraction towards family, especially towards wife and children. And because of this deep-rooted attraction, he continues to commit violence and ultimately goes to hell because of the anxiety to maintain the family, to make the family, give the family everything, whatever is possible, and whatever is not possible beyond one's capacity also one tries to do something, and forgets about the difference between sinful activity and pious activity and continues to do sinful activities just for the sake of maintaining the family and ultimately goes to hell. And not only that, despite of doing so much for the family, I mean, even taking the risk of going to hell by doing so many sinful activities, the family does not value the contribution done by this person, materialistic person. And they look at him almost like a dog in the old age. And they almost look at him like some kind of an old ox. Sometimes the ox, when it becomes old, the farmers, they maintain it, they will give it some grass, but they don't really care about it. It's just like an ox. Okay, they don't want to kill the ox because it has served so much. But of course, these days, they will even sell it off. If the ox is old, they will sell it off like that, or they'll just put it in some old age home and they'll just come, right? The elderly parents, nobody takes care of them. So it's like that's the current standards. But the standard here, it is given that at least in the old days, they'll just give some grass and they'll not care about them, basically. So like that, old age, disease, death happens. And then this materialistic person after death is taken to hell and he's made to suffer so much and then undergoes various hellish punishments. And sometimes these hellish punishments are not delivered in hell, But in earth itself, you can see the newspapers, right? We see sometimes that there was some factory where there was a glass making factory which exploded. The machine exploded, and that molten glass fell on all the workers, and so many got injured, so many got burns, and so many died on the spot. So these are some examples of the hellish punishments which happen in this material world itself. That is also possible. So like that, from hell, they then go to the lower birth next. Living entity, you see the cycle is being explained. From hell, they are going to the lower birth, means animal body. Next, after the hell, they'll go to the animal bodies. They'll go through all the animal bodies, one after the another, one after the another, one after the another, and finally get the human birth. So at the time of birth, what happens? Now, finally, after such a long wait, after so much of hellish suffering, and after going through all the animals, and after going through all the sufferings that animals go through, we see animals also suffer so much, right? Do you see? Sometimes we see that the dogs on the street, they don't have a leg. They're sleeping on the street and some vehicle goes on them and then they lose their leg. Is it not? And sometimes we see that the birds become old and the cat comes and kills them immediately. So this is the condition of an animal. So each animal is suffering like that. They don't have doctors, they don't have insurance, they don't have anything, right? So much of suffering will be there in all the animal species after hells. After finally he'll come inside the human body into the womb of a mother, and all the details are given, like how he enters into the womb of a mother, and the living entity starts the journey, with a small bubble in the first day, and it becomes slightly like a plum in one week. And after a month becomes a little bit big. Like those who are parents who have seen, you all have experience, right? When you see the scanning, when you go for scanning and seeing the baby is growing every day, they show that, they show in the 1 centimeter, they'll show here is your baby. Like that explanation is given, how the baby is growing and how different organs are coming. And then this is not a very pleasant experience for the baby. It's a very, very pathetic experience as per Kapila Deva, because he's lying inside water and germs and sweat and bitten by small germs and crying bitterly inside and upside down, and unimaginable situation, right? And ultimately that if that fetus is lucky, it will remember the past 100 lifetimes. Past 100 lifetimes will be shown to them. And then the past 100 lifetimes will be shown what all hellish conditions went through, what all animal bodies this person went through, all of that, or what all human births also before that, and how that human birth was wasted, completely squandered, all the time wasted in a useless activities, and ultimately went into animal bodies, and how suffering of animal bodies, hellish planets, everything will be like overwhelming. And then that baby will start crying loudly, oh my dear Lord, you are the person who can give liberation, so please liberate me out of this Maya. And it is said here that finally the jiva comes out. As soon as the jiva comes out, forgets everything, because Maya captures again and starts crying. The baby is crying. Baby is like, I forgot everything now. Again I became a stupid person. I'm going to follow a materialistic life now. Same thing, the same mistakes again, right? So then again in the boyhood is having hankering, right? That I want to play this, I want to play this, or I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to study here, I want to work here. It's my career. My career is very important for me. This, that, and my family. I want to take care of my family. So all of this, and then finally bad association of sinful people, and ultimately attracted to the opposite sex, and finally again death, birth and death. Okay, this is what happens. So this is what is explained. The jiva's journey, you see. And then multiple types of worshippers have been explained. The different type of people. There's some people called those who worship attached worship. That is, they perform dharma to attain money, artha, and kama, and they are not interested in bhakti. So there's one category of people who call themselves to be very dharmic, religious people. Their purpose of doing dharma, if you say come and do some puja, they will do it. But their ultimate motive is paisa milega kya? Kya milega? What is it I'm going to get out of this? Will I get some money? Am I going to get some enjoyment, sense enjoyment? Such people are averse to bhakti. That's what Kapila Deva is saying. And because of that aversion of bhakti, they worship the forefathers, they will worship demigods, they will do all of that. And ultimately what happens to them is, they go to the moon planet and return back to the earth. And then there are different kind of people called detached workers who do their prescribed duties with detachment. And then ultimately they will attain the Lord. But those people who are absorbed in family affairs, who worship the forefathers, are averse to Harikatha. There's some so-called religious people, right, who call themselves to be very staunchly religious. But Kapila Deva is criticizing them, Supreme Lord, that they are doing sakama karma. They are only performing the worship of forefathers and demigods for the sake of mode of passion, and they are very much absorbed in family affairs. And their destination is they go to Pitraloka and return to earth. That's all. They're not going to get any destination better than that. But on the other hand, somebody who takes to the devotional service of Krishna, who does bhakti, for such a person, jnana and vairagya is very quickly attained. Okay? So that is what happens. And so the ultimate conclusion here is, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatyasu Vairagyam Jnanam Yada Brahma Darshanam. So we get, by doing the worship of Lord Krishna, by Bhakti Yoga, we get Jnana and we get Brahma Darshana, right? Elevated to the transcendental platform of Brahman, the platform of Lord Krishna. And Devahuti is doing prayers to Kapila Deva. So Kapila Deva has given all these instructions. Kapila Deva says that I have answered all your questions now. Okay. And these teachings are very sublime, very important. They're not meant to be taught for those people who are envious, agnostics, those who are unclean in behavior, proud people, hypocrites, greedy people, materially attached, non-devotees, and those who hate devotees. These are all some categories of people who are not devotees. In one statement, non-devotees, or those people who hate, the pure devotees of Krishna, like in a more or less like a demoniac kind of people. These teachings are not meant for them. That's what Kapila says. This should be given to those people who are faithful, devotees, respectful, non-envious, okay, friendly to all jivas, eager to render service, detached, peaceful-minded, unselfish, pure, who have taken Lord to be the most pure, dear object. This we should be given. And anybody who hears this Sankhya Yoga, they achieve the Lord's abode. Okay. So that's very interesting. So type Haribol in the chat. So anybody who hears these topics of Sankhya, who faithfully hears or speaks about it, they achieve the Lord's abode. Okay. Haribol. So amazing, right? So that's the reason why so amazing it is. See, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a very merciful incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had appeared in Mayapur Dham, Navadvip Dham, 500 years ago. And he was so magnanimous and merciful that he used to give pure devotional service to anybody whom he saw. See, for us to understand this, why we should do chanting, we need so much of logic and conviction for us, right? That, oh, if I'm not going to chant, I'll have to go through this journey of that jiva, which is looking so dangerous. I mean, to go through all the journey of going through the hellish planets and all the animal species, and then being born as a human being, becoming a materialistic householder, and again suffering there also, again getting inside hell, again going inside the animals species, finally again coming to human body and becoming a materialistic person. And you see this cycle. We need so much of logic, conviction, etc. for us to sit down and chant. That's why once Prabhupada used to say, simply chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And if you can start chanting immediately by just simply believing this instruction, it's very good. But no, if you think that no, I need to be convinced, then we have volumes of books to convince you. So Prabhupada said, I have written volumes of books. So this is just one volume, third canto, right? So Prabhupada has written volumes of books, Srimad Bhagavatam, everything. So we have like 18 volumes of books, 18,000 verses to convince us to start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we have two options. Either we can just immediately believe, yeah, whatever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, whatever Krishna said, whatever Prabhupada said, let me simply start chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Otherwise, okay, no problem. Read the books and then get convinced. But the ultimate goal is that we must start chanting Hare Krishna. Without that, everything is useless. So this is the Srimad Bhagavatam. I was saying that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so merciful. Just simply by glancing at people or simply by touching them, they used to get love of Godhead. So here we are trying to chant, we are trying to do sadhana bhakti, and then when we do nice sadhana bhakti inoffensively, we will get the love of Godhead. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he just saw people, common people, like sometimes the dhobi, washerman, right? He just goes and embraces a washerman, and the washerman immediately gets love of God and starts singing and dancing the names of Krishna. So wonderful, isn't it? So once what happened, there was a Muslim darji, was a tailor. And one day he started shouting that I have seen that I have seen the Lord, I have seen the Lord. I've seen the Supreme Personality of God. That he has shown me darshan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu every day used to go from there. One day he started shouting that I have seen the Supreme Personality of God and Lord has showed me darshan. So he was so magnanimous. Right? So coming back here, this is the Kapila Deva's instructions, Sankhya Yoga, that we are discussing right now. All right. And the conclusion of the Kapila's instruction also we will see now, very soon, immediately after Devahuti's prayers. So let us start with the Devahuti's prayers. How Devahuti is praying. Just imagine the mood of Devahuti. I mean, how fortunate she must be to have the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be born as her child. Right? So that's a very wonderful thing, is it not? That the Supreme Lord, we worship so much, we love them, we love him, and we want to do devotional service. And what if he is born as our own child, right? So the Devahuti is so lucky, and she's so great also. She's deserving as well, because she was a very great personality. Of course, again, ultimately it is Lord's kripa. And let's just see, let's start our today's chapter here. I did a summary of Kapila Gita. All right. Okay, I'll read a little bit of Sanskrit shlokas. Okay, please excuse me for that. So the reason is, when we read the Sanskrit shlokas, right, there's a certain rhythm, there's a certain mantra shakti in these Sanskrit verses. Okay, we get that power. So all the power of the Vedas is kept inside Shabda, Shruti, right? All that Shabda Brahman, what do you call it? The Vedas, the Vedic sounds, vibrations, right? They are nicely kept in this Sanskrit shlokas so that we can hear them and that effect will be there on us, okay? Maitreya Uvacha Evam nishamya kapilasya vacho Evam nishamya kapilasya vacho janitri sakardamasya dayita kila devahuti visrastamoha patala tamabhipranamya tushtavatattva vishayankita siddhi bhumin. So what happened? Maitreya Rishi is telling to whom? Vidura. Conversation is happening between Maitreya Muni and Vidura, if you remember. So there are so many layers here, layers. So it's like Shukadeva Goswami is telling to Parikshit Maharaj, right? And the sages of Naimisharanya, Suta Goswami is telling to Shaunaka Rishi and all the sages of Naimisharanya, right? About the story of Maitreya telling to Vidura, right? About the instructions of Kapila to Devahuti. 4 layers now, right? layers of stories, right? So, okay, so Devahuti, mother of Kapila Deva and wife of Kardama Muni, became freed from all ignorance concerning devotional service and transcendental knowledge. After hearing all this summary, whatever I've said, Sankhya Yoga summary, now clear, head clear. She offered her obeisances to the Lord, who is the author of the basic principles of Sankhya Yoga system, which is the background of liberation. And she satisfied him with the following verses of prayers. So here it is said that even we can also become liberated. We can come to the stage of Jivan Mukti, that is liberation within the material body, by following the principles of Sankhya Yoga. The basic principle of Sankhya Yoga is elevated in devotional service and becomes fully Krishna conscious. Anyone who understands these basic principles, see, we have to understand principles, right? We always get these questions. First of all, the basic question is, why should I be spiritual? Basic question. Where is God? Who is God? God is there or not? Okay, if let us say if you are spiritual, if you are religious, if you accept everything, then why Krishna? Why Krishna consciousness? All of this is the answer is Sankhya Yoga, Sankhya philosophy. After hearing this, anybody in this universe will be 100% convinced. If somebody is getting a doubt, or if you have yourself doubt, please go through this 3rd canto repeatedly. The instructions of Kapila Muni. It becomes crystal clear why we are supposed to be doing Krishna consciousness. Devahutirvacha atapyajonta salile shayanam atyapyajonta salile shayanam bhutendriyartatma mayam vapuste gunapravaham sadesha bijam dadyau swayam yaj jatarabjab jataha. Devahuti said, Brahma is said to be unborn because he takes birth from lotus flower which grows from your abdomen while you lie in the ocean of the bottom of the universe. But even Brahma simply meditated upon you, whose body is the source of unlimited universes. Point here is, even Lord Brahma, who is considered to be the Prapitamaha, the great-grandfather of this universe, that is everybody's generations. If you go, my father, father's father, grandfather, great, finally it's Brahma for anybody. So such a great personality, Brahma is born from you, from the lotus flower. And Brahma also meditate upon you, right? And your body is the source of unlimited universes. Unlimited universes are coming from Lord's body. When she's saying your body, she's talking about Kapila. Kapila is an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the millions of all the universes are coming out of the pores of the Lord Vishnu. Sayeva vishvasya bhavan vidhatte guna pravahena vibhakta viryaha sargadyaniyo vitata bin sandhir atmeshvaro tarkya sahasra shakti. My dear Lord, although personally you have nothing to do, you have distributed your energies in the interaction of the modes of material nature, and for the reason the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation have taken place. So what here Devahuti is saying is, Lord Krishna has got nothing to do. That means he has no work to perform. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I have no prescribed duties. Prescribed duties are for us. See? You see, if a child is born, we are supposed to do some kind of samskaras, garbhadana samskara before even conception, or maybe like brahmachari life, and then grihastha, getting married, and going through this rules and regulations of the varnashrama system, prescribed duties. This is for us. It's not for Krishna. He has got nothing to do. Sometimes what happens, out of enviousness, the living entities start judging that how can Krishna do this? How Krishna can do anything? He is the creator of everything. He is the creator of the prescribed duties. He is completely free from the three modes of material nature. This varnashrama system, prescribed duties are required for us so that we become free from the three modes of material nature. By simply chanting the names of Krishna, we can become liberated from the three modes of material nature. By becoming envious of Krishna, what are we going to get? We are only going to get hellish planet. That's it. Nothing else. So Krishna is supreme ultimate, and he has got nothing to do. He's enjoying in his abode. And he, in combination with the three modes of material nature, with the indirect touch, he comes in the form of Trimurti, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, for the sake of creation, maintenance, and dissolution. And then here she is saying, you are the self-determined and the supreme personality of Godhead for all living entities. And for them, you have created this material manifestation, and although you are one, your diverse energies can act multifariously, and this is inconceivable for us. So for the sake of the conditioned living entities, Lord Krishna created this material manifestation. And Lord is acting, is maintaining the universe with the help of Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, with the help of all the demigods, who are all again indirect expansions of Krishna, not direct. We are also, jivas are also indirect expansions, not direct expansions. So, but ultimately everything is Krishna's energy. Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Shruyate. Everything is his energy. It's not easy for us to understand what it is. And now what is surprising for Devahuti is, how have you taken birth in my abdomen? This is surprising. Supreme Personality of Godhead, from him all the universes are coming, and such a person has come inside my abdomen. What a surprising thing it is. How is it possible? She's thinking. And then she is asking the question and she's answering herself. She is saying, yes, it is possible. Because, you know, Vatapatra Sai, you see what happens at the end of the annihilation of the universe, all the 14 planetary systems will enter into the abdomen of Lord Vishnu. Okay, and all the waters, everything will be gone. At that time, there will be nothing. There will be only water, devastational water. And there, Markandeya Rishi has seen something very strange. He saw a leaf of a banyan tree. On that, he saw one small baby. And that small baby, do you know who is? Anybody can type in the chat. Who was that small baby? Whom did he see?
Krishna.
Krishna.
Yeah.
Lord Krishna.
There was nobody else. That's very important to see. Right? Nothing is there. Eko Narayano Asit. That is what the Upanishad says. Only Lord Narayana is present. When everything is gone, only he is present. Nobody is present. Right? Only he is present. So he is present in the Vatapatra Shai. And one thing is the small baby, you see small children, sometimes we see that they hold their legs and they put it inside their mouth. Have you seen that anytime? Small babies are very flexible, okay? They can hold their feet and they like sucking their thumb and all. So they take their feet also and put it in their mouth and start sucking it. But can you tell me, why did Lord Vatapatra Shai is licking his lotus feet? Why is he licking the lotus feet? Any guesses? What is there in that lotus feet to lick it? Yeah?
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Tell me, Mataji.
The river Ganges, the sacred river Ganges, emanated from the lotus feet of the Lord.
Yes.
And the Lord was surprised that the materialist people enjoy drinking this water. So he wanted
Okay.
to know what is so relishing about his toe that
Okay.
that we people drink the water with so much of this thing. So he started licking his toe to know the real reason why we
Okay.
relish drinking the sacred water.
Okay. Close. You are very close. Anybody want to try? Yeah, let's see that. It's very interesting. See, the lotus feet of Lord Krishna are the shelter for all the pure devotees. Am I right? All the pure devotees are always thinking about meditating upon the lotus feet of Krishna. They take shelter of the lotus feet. So you see, Lord is licking the toe to taste the nectar for which the devotees always aspire. So he is thinking that how is this devotees are taking the shelter of my lotus feet and they are getting so much of transcendental pleasure, so much of pleasure that they don't care for anything in this universe. They're no longer scared of the material existence. As soon as somebody takes a shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, you become fearless. Completely fearless. No more lamentation. So what is so wonderful about my feet? He wants to check it himself. You see? He's taking transcendental pleasure within himself. So just like Radharani, she enjoys a great transcendental mellow, right, in devotional service of Krishna. And she's always immersed in pleasure, ecstatic pleasure. And even in the separation of Lord Krishna, she is in some kind of ecstatic pleasure, Mahabhava. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Krishna wanted to find out what is it that Radharani is going through. What is it that she's enjoying that I am not able to enjoy? So he wants to find out that. So he said, okay, I shall come in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the body of Radharani, but Krishna himself appearing, Lord Gauranga. So he's coming and then he's relishing the pastimes of Krishna. He's remembering Krishna and he's seeing how much enjoyment is there in Krishna consciousness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us, right? He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. There cannot be anybody matching him. Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna are same. There's nobody who can match them. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not absorbed in thinking about anything other than Radha and Krishna. There's so much of bliss in this Krishna consciousness, okay? You should see from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Similarly, Svatapatra Shai is licking his own feet means that so much of nectar in that lotus feet of the Lord, that Lord wants to taste and check what is there. So my dear Lord, you have assumed this body in order to diminish the sinful activities of the fallen and to enrich their knowledge in devotion and liberation. Since these sinful people are dependent on your direction, by your own will you assume incarnations of a boar and other forms. Similarly, you have appeared in order to distribute transcendental knowledge to your dependents. So she is answering the question that she has put. How is it possible that the unborn Supreme Lord from whom all the universes are coming has come inside the abdomen of a woman like me? The answer is, she's saying that you come for paritranaya sadhunam vinachaya chadushkritam, right? To deliver the miscreants. We are all miscreants. She's saying we are all miscreants. We have forgotten you. We have fallen in the pool of material existence. We forgot you everything. We forgot everything that we are supposed to do devotion. We are supposed to get liberation. We forgot everything. We're just going like getting into that cycle that Kapila Dev said, right? That dangerous cycle of being a materialistic person and doing sinful activities, going to hells and then going to animal species, and we're stuck in that cycle. But out of your mercy, you came and you gave us these instructions. So we should be so grateful to the Lord that we are able to hear these instructions of Sankhya Yoga, which is like a wake-up call for us, right? So just like morning, we put alarm, right? So it wakes us up from deep sleep. Similarly, this knowledge is for waking us up from deep sleep. And you have appeared to distribute transcendental knowledge for your dependents. So all of us are like dependent on Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu. And he has mercifully taken this incarnation and given this merciful knowledge. And Srila Prabhupada mercifully translated this knowledge and written it in such a beautiful purports, such a beautiful translations also are so beautiful to read. And he made it in such a way that we people who have no access for Sanskrit or any kind of scholarship, we are able to relish these instructions. We are able to understand it. It's all grateful. We should be so much grateful to Srila Prabhupada for his efforts at such an advanced age. Right. So coming back here, the point is, Lord takes all these incarnations like Varaha, Narasimha, right, to deliver the miscreants and to deliver the pious people, right, to punish the miscreants and to deliver the pious people. Those people who are surrendered to Krishna are sadhu, pious people. What a wonderful verse. Yamna madheya shravananukirtanat yat pravanad yat smaranadapi kvachet svadopi sadyat savanaya kalpate kutapunaste bhagavan darshanat. To say nothing of spiritual advancement of people who see Supreme Person face to face, even a person born in the family of dog eaters immediately becomes eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices if one utters the holy name of the Supreme Personality of God or chants about him, hears about his pastimes, offer him obeisances, or even remembers him. This verse and the next one are classic. Too good. Yamnama Dheya Shravananu Kirtanat. Right? By chanting whose names, what is happening by chanting the whose names? See, there's some kind of people who are dog eaters. That means we see in China and some countries, there's still such people, okay, who kill the street dogs, just like how our civilization, they kill chicken and goats, they kill the dogs also. So, and then they eat the dog flesh. They are called as a dog eaters. Actually, it's very much condemned in the Shastras that dog eaters are said to be like it's like the worst, it's the lowest of the mankind. Those people who are eating the dogs, they're like the lowest state of impurity. It cannot be worse than that. It's so worst. But even that people, simply, if they chant the names of Krishna, if they hear about Krishna's pastime, if they pay obeisances to Krishna and remember Krishna, they come to the stage of Brahmanas. And they're eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices also. That means this is a wonderful contrast. To perform Vedic sacrifice, one must be a Brahmana and one must be very pure, 100% pure, no bad habits at all. Right? So much of reformatory processes should have happened, Upanayana Samskara, and should have read the Vedas, should chant the mantras perfectly. So much of qualification required. But even a dog eater also can get the qualification if such a person chants the names of Krishna or hears about him. Okay, very, very beautiful purport here. Okay, I would strongly recommend you to go through them later. This purport particular, this one and the next one. Right? So immediately, let's see this. The word is sadhyaha. Sadhya means immediately one becomes purified. Don't think after a long time you'll get purified. No, immediately. You hear the names of Krishna, you chant about Krishna, you hear the stories of Krishna, you immediately become purified. You are immediately eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices. But you have to chant in an offenseless manner, not in an offensive manner. Here it is said, taking the birth in the family of Brahmana is certainly due to pious activities of one's own life. But still, a child who is born in the family of Brahmana depends on his further reformation and sacred thread ceremony. That means you may be born in the family of Brahmanas, that's fine, but that's not enough. It is said that by birth, one is a Shudra. Right? So there's a verse that says, Brahmajanayati iti Brahmana. Okay. And by birth, it is Shudra. By birth, one person is a Shudra. Even a Brahmin family, if somebody is born, he is still a Shudra by birth. Janmana jayate Shudra. Correct. Janmana jayate Shudra. Samskaro bhave dvijaha. The process, see the process. Janmano jayato Shudra. By birth, Shudra. And then samskaro bhave dvijaha. Samskara means reformatory process. There are some samskaras. Some Vedic sacrifice rituals are there. After that Upanayana samskara, there are multiple samskaras are supposed to be done right after birth, just like Garbhadana and Jata Karma and Namakarana, Annaprashana, like that, Simantonayana. So many samskaras are there. And then comes the Upanayana samskara. After the Upanayana samskara, sacred thread is given. After that, then that person becomes Dvija. Right? Samskarat bhave dvijaha, brahmana jayate brahmana. Brahma janati iti brahmana. That means only by understanding, by reading Vedas, one becomes Vipra. By understanding Brahman, one becomes Brahmana. Not simply. It's not like a one step. It's not that, no, I'm a son of a Brahmana. Give me my thread, I will wear it. No. Not like that. All the purificatory process need to be done. Even if a person is born in the family of Brahmanas. See this. Initiation must happen. Sacred thread must be given. But a person who chants the holy names of Krishna, even born in the family of Chandala or dog eater, does not need all of these processes. Upanayana samskara, this samskara, that samskara, nothing is required. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna, he immediately becomes purified and becomes as good as the most learned Brahmana. This is a very wonderful lesson. This is what the Shastras actually mean. The caste system means that everybody must chant the names of Hare Krishna, chant the names of Krishna, and get elevated to the stage of Brahmana. This is the real essence of our Shastras. So there's some caste Brahmanas who say that by chanting Hare Krishna, purification begins. But Sridhara Swami is completely applicable if one chants without offense. So there's some people who say that, how is it possible? How is it possible? Somebody like, how can they become, how can a dog eater become a Brahmana? We don't agree. How can a dog eater become a Brahmana? By simply chanting the names of Krishna. Says Prabhupada is saying, no, it's like if somebody is doing offenselessly, without any offense, if somebody chants the names of Krishna, then they immediately become elevated to the stage of Brahmana. Okay, so that's what has been explained here. And let's go to the next one. This is another verse, another classic verse. Beautiful. Aho batashvapachoto gariyan yajivagre vartate namatubhyam te pustapaste juhuvu shashnurarya brahmanuchur namagrinanti yete. Can anybody read the translation? Yes, please.
Oh, how glorious are they whose tongues are chanting your holy name. Even if born in the families of dog eaters, such persons are worshipable. Persons who chant the holy name of your lordship must have executed all kinds of austerities and fire sacrifices and achieved all the good manners of the Aryans. To be chanting the holy name of your lordship, they must have bathed at holy places of pilgrimage, studied the Vedas, and fulfilled everything required. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So just see, if you are chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra today, you are very lucky. You must know that. Why? Because if somebody is chanting the holy names of Krishna, it is not possible that I go to anybody and say, chant the names of Krishna, and they can chant. It's not possible. The impious people cannot chant the names of Krishna. Only if a person has performed all the austerities which are given in the Vedas in their previous lifetimes. who bathed in all the pilgrimages. So they went to Yatra to all, not only Char Dham, Chalis Dham, Char Sau Dham, all Dham. They went and they took bath. And they read all the Vedas. And they did everything given in the Vedas. Then, this lifetime, you got the qualification that you are chanting the names of Krishna. Do you understand how important this is? So, this is the counter argument for those people who say that how can you say that a dog eater can become Brahmana and do the sacrifices? The dog eater is a sinful person. He is doing so sinful habit he has got. And you are saying that he can do a fire sacrifice and is equal to Brahmana. How is it possible? It is possible because he is chanting the names of Krishna. If he has agreed to chant the names of Krishna, what it means is that originally in his previous lifetime, he has performed everything that's given in the Vedas. Everything. That's very important. So this is a very important point, right? If we are able to take up Krishna consciousness, it is not a normal thing. It's not an ordinary thing. Krishna consciousness is like that. Once Prabhupada was asked by his disciples that, Prabhupada, we are preaching so many people and we're getting very few people here. And we see that there are so many fake gurus with fake philosophies, Mayavad, trying to say everybody, you are God, I am God, this kind of philosophies, fake philosophy, some just diluted eyewash. And we see thousands of people there. What's going on? Srila Prabhupada said, you see, Krishna consciousness is like a diamond business. So in a diamond store, you don't see many customers. Am I right? So the what do you say? The walk-in number of people who walk in is very less in a diamond store. But beside the diamond store or beside the gold jewelry shop, there's a small thela, small shop will be there, small shop. Rolled gold, they will sell. 100 rupees, 300 rupees, you can get earrings, everything. Thousands of people will be flocking. Thousands of people. That is 100 rupees, you will get one golden ring. 200 rupees, you will get 500 rupees, you will get one golden necklace. So it is cheap. Krishna consciousness is not cheap. Okay, it's not for those people who want to be cheap. Krishna consciousness is like a diamond business. That's what Prabhupada said. So similarly, chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra means it's not possible for everybody and anybody. They must have done so much in their past life. Only then they will be able to take up. Otherwise, they cannot take up Krishna consciousness, even if they want to. So that's very interesting. So here now, she has concluded prayers, saying the point is, the main point was that, oh my dear Lord Kapila, oh my dear Lord Krishna, you are so great, you are so great. From you, all the universes are coming and you are responsible for creation, maintenance and destruction. And you have come inside the womb, in my womb. It is very surprising. And you have come to deliver these sinful people like me, who have completely forgotten you in Maya. Okay. And then he's saying, and how glorious to see you, to take your darshan. It's not normal, because simply if we chant your names, if we hear your stories itself, the Chandalas, dog eaters, are becoming equivalent of Brahmanas. And what to talk about seeing you personally, and what to talk about having you as my son. It's amazing, right? You're so great. And those people who are chanting the names of Krishna, they would have performed all the Vedic rituals possible in their previous lifetime to get to this stage. Like Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur, he was a Mohammedan. And then he was the follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he used to chant 22 hours in 24 hours, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And he was accepted by even Advaita Acharya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Nama Acharya. He is the Acharya of chanting of the holy names of Krishna, because he has shown how to chant. 22 hours a day he used to chant without any expectation in his mind. That is Haridas Thakur. So It's not ordinary to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Now he's saying, concluding that you are the Lord Vishnu himself, who has come like Kapila. You are the supreme Brahman, Parabrahman, right? And all the sages, they meditate upon you for freeing themselves from the disturbances of senses and minds. And only by your mercy we can become free from the clutches of the three modes of material nature. See, Krishna's Maya is so powerful, so powerful. I mean, if you start meditating, you will see that every activity that we do in our life is because of the three modes of material nature. Everything. The reason why we are shouting, the reason why sometimes we are getting upset, the reason why we are happy, the reason why we are meditating, everything is because of these three modes of material nature. And we are unable to be free from these three modes of material nature. They have actually caught us. They are unable to control them. They are controlling us. If you properly analyze this, you can see that. But only by Krishna's mercy we can be freed from these three modes of material nature. Otherwise, it's not possible. Krishna must be merciful, because says Daivi hi esham gunamayi mama maya durateya. It is this Maya is Mama Maya, Krishna's Maya. Duratyaya, cannot be conquered. We can take to many artificial processes, artificial isms, this ism, that ism, this ism, that ism, so much we can try everything, but nobody is free from the three modes of material nature. Daivi hi esham gunamayi mama maya durateya mameva hi ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. The one who surrenders to Krishna can cross over Maya. Not anybody else. Only by Krishna's mercy we can cross over Krishna's Maya. And at the time of dissolution, all the Vedas are sustained in you. All the Vedas go back to Krishna. Now comes the final part. Maitreya vacha idito bhagavan kapilakhya parapuman vacha vikalyate aha mataram matruvatsalaha. The Supreme Lord, satisfied by the words of his mother, towards whom he was very affectionate, replied with gravity. See, one thing very interesting is, even though Lord is transcendental, he is a supreme absolute truth, he is a person. And he is the best person, Purushottama. He is a supreme person. And the way he reciprocates with his mother is so beautiful. In all the incarnations we see that. Let it be the incarnation of Lord Ramachandra, how he reciprocated with his mother Kaushalya. Or if you take Lord Krishna reciprocating with Yashoda and Devaki Devi. Or if you take Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reciprocating with Sachi Mata, we say that Lord, he is very affectionate towards his mother. Okay. He is very affectionate in this incarnation of Kapila. He is affectionate towards his mother, Devahuti. And Devahuti so nicely, submissively, she asked questions to Kapila Deva to explain, to give her, to take her out of ignorance. I told you the question, remember at the beginning of the session? Her question, right? How can I come out of this Maya? And Kapila Deva very mercifully explained this. It was her mother who was asking. So we very nicely answered all the questions. And now, finally, when Devahuti is concluding her prayers, Kapila felt very compassionate towards her mother, very affectionate. And now he speaks. Here is the conclusion of Kapila's instructions. How many of you want to know the conclusion? Type me in the chat. Conclusive instructions of Lord Kapila Deva. Type me in the chat if you want to hear this. What is Lord Kapila Deva saying? Kapila vacha margenanena mataste susevyano me astitena param kashtam achirat avarotsiyasi. Anybody can read this translation?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The personality of Godhead said, My dear mother, the path of self-realization which I have already instructed to you is very easy. You can execute this system without difficulty, and by following it, you shall very soon be liberated, even within your present body. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. You see, thank you very much. The system which is given by Lord Chaitanya, the system which is given by Lord Krishna, system given by Lord Kapila Deva, the system of Srimad Bhagavatam is Susukam. Very easy. Very easy. It's not at all difficult. I mean, sometimes I keep hearing people saying that it's very difficult. What is so difficult? What is difficult? It is actually very easy. It's the easiest process to get liberated. And it is full of joy. What is the difficulty in offering a fruit to Lord Krishna and eating it? If you cook some food and offer it to Krishna, you see that the flavor will get enhanced. You try it. The flavor become completely enhanced. It becomes a different kind of a food. You will think, how did I cook this? It's so tasty now. Because Krishna has tasted it. What is the difficulty in eating prasadam? What is the difficulty in going to the temple and going to Ratha Yatra, right? Hearing the pastimes of Krishna, hearing this wonderful philosophy of Krishna consciousness, chanting the names of Krishna, it is so blissful. Everything is so blissful. There's nothing like a torture. It's so good. Waking up early in the morning is so pleasant, and doing Manglarti, hearing the Guru Ashtakam, you see, seeing Radha Krishna early in the morning, doing Narsimharti. What is difficulty in this? So simple, actually. It's very easy. It's just that we're not willing to try it. If you try it, you will know whether it is easy or not. Our mind is simply rejecting and saying it's difficult. No, you try it, then you tell whether it is easy or difficult. This is a very easy path. So Lord is concluding and saying that this path which I gave you about bhakti yoga, is very easy. You can execute the system without any difficulty. And what is the benefit? Why should you execute it? Because when you execute it, you will become liberated immediately within your present body. That's the beauty. Even in this present body, we can become liberated. Such a nice thing this is. Then, my dear mother, those who are actually transcendentalists certainly follow my instructions as I have given them to you. You may rest assured that if you traverse this path of self-realization perfectly, surely you will be freed from fearful material contamination and shall ultimately reach me. Mother, persons who are not conversant with this method of devotional service certainly cannot get out of the cycle of birth and death. Do you see? So clear it is. There cannot be anything more clear than this. Lord Kapila is telling very clearly that those who practice Krishna consciousness, they will be certainly liberated and certainly they will go back to Godhead. And those who do not follow devotional service of Krishna, they will certainly come back to this material world. They will definitely be again born. Very, very beautiful instructions by Lord Kapila. And then the Supreme Lord, after instructing his beloved mother, took permission and then he left his home because his mission got fulfilled. So type in the chat, mission fulfilled, MF. Type MF in the chat. That means mission got fulfilled. Lord Krishna, he takes incarnations, and I told you every incarnation has got a mission. And the mission of Lord Kapila is to give the system of Sankhya to his mother, to all of us, to explain us analytically how to worship the Supreme Lord and become liberated in great detail, right? Starting from 3.20 to 3.33, almost 12, 13 chapters. Right? So beautiful instruction. So today is the conclusion, and we saw the conclusion. It's crystal clear. Okay. It's very simple. Okay. It's very simple. Let's not complicate it. It's very simple. The final point is this. We have to sit down, take out some time for Krishna. That's it. We have to stop. We have to plan our schedule. Just like how you plan your schedule for doing activities, you have to give time for Krishna. There is no other way. You cannot stuff Krishna consciousness in between materialistic life. You have to give some space that this 2 hours is dedicated to Krishna, like that. And you must give that space, give that time, have that discipline, and sit down and chant during that time. As simple as that. And simply by doing this chanting, right, hearing about Krishna, associating with the devotees, we get the ultimate benefit to be able to go back to home, back to Godhead at the end of this lifetime. So we must not ignore these instructions. These are very, very powerful and very instructive. Lord Kapiladeva has given. He has explained us. Almost it was like a movie in front of our eyes, is it not? What Kapiladeva showed us was like a complete journey he showed. What happens when somebody ignores Krishna consciousness and continues the material life? What happens? It's like a horror movie he showed. Is it not? And on the other hand, those who follow Krishna consciousness, it's not a horror movie, it's a very pleasant movie. It's very pleasant, it's very happy, always happy. There's no material miseries at all. And even if a devotee is dying, he won't be feeling bad or lamenting, oh, I'm dying. He'll feel, okay, fine, I'll go back to God. Okay, devotee becomes happy. Right? Devotee is not like scared or what will happen to me, nothing like that. Right? It's very happily embracing. Parikshit Maharaj is about to die. He's not crying. He's not running here and there. He's not doing anything of that. It's just, he just wants to hear about Krishna. That's all. He just handed over all the kingdom to his next descendants. And then he walked out of the house. And very happily he sat down on the banks of the Hastinapura, on the river Ganges, and then Shukadeva Goswami came, and then he is hearing for the next 7 days and 7 nights, he's hearing about Krishna very happily, right? So this is the process of Krishna consciousness, very simple yet very sublime, right? Which gives us the ultimate benefit. Okay, thank you very much, devotees. Hare Krishna, thank you for your time. I hope you got some interesting lessons today. There were some important points that you took today. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions or anything you want to add, you can please add. Hare Krishna. Anybody wants to say something?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Sankhya philosophy is also, it encompasses the fact that we are not the soul, we are not the body, we are the soul, right?
Yes.
And soul cannot it cannot be destroyed. That it also includes that, no?
Yes. Knowledge of the soul. That's right.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, that's a nice point, because see, the knowledge of the soul needs to be given in the proper context. If you remove the context, what happens is it becomes atheistic. You see? Just like the present day yoga system, we are giving yoga. We say Surya Namaskar. If given a chance, we will remove the name Surya also, because it is religious. We want to remove the essence out of it, out of context, making it a bodily exercise. But that was not the purpose of yoga system, is it not? The context is that you're using the yoga system to gradually proceed from a disturbed mind to a calm, peaceful breathing exercises, sitting down, and then, meditating upon the Lord and getting samadhi, fixing yourself upon the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. But if you kill the essence, everything is gone, right? Similarly, the knowledge of the soul also, if you remove the context, that soul is the part and parcel of Krishna. And the knowledge of the soul is required for us to become devotees of Krishna. If you remove this part and simply focus on that independently, then it is another kind of Buddhism, atheism. It's almost like saying like there is no God. There is Atma, Atma, Paramatma is same, like that. Okay, so it's important. So everything must be in proper, full, broader context. So that's what Srimad Bhagavatam gives a broader context of the entire knowledge, rather than independently just dissecting it and trying to present it by removing the essence of the whole thing, right? Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. That was pranam.
Bharatma.
As I understand it, Prabhu, I feel like Kapil's Sankhya philosophy is like a theory class, and Krishna consciousness is the practical class. I mean, a biology student will understand that much better.
Yes. Nice. Yes,
So
Mataji.
thank you, Prabhuji, for the class, and thank you,
Thank
Hare Krishna, everybody. That was pranam.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That was a nice point. Krishna consciousness is practical, right? So this is all theory. We just saw theory, how to do it. Like in our college also, we used to have theory and practicals, right? Where the teacher will talk about electrical wires and theory and electrical theory. I did electronics. So computer science also, they'll show you a lot of block diagrams, everything, so much of theory. Finally, when the labs come, that's when you really see the wires, you see the machines, right? That's where you actually see the computers and all the things in action. Our biology, Mataji was saying, you can talk and you're talking about hours about a cockroach, but actually when you dissect a cockroach and show something, you're seeing something practical. Similarly, Krishna consciousness is all theory, Sankhya philosophy, for those people who are very much interested in understanding in depth about the reason why we must do Krishna consciousness. This is for us to convince ourselves. It's necessary. This is also needed. But ultimately, we should start implementing it by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wonderful comments. Hare Krishna. Shailja Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Session was very insightful and came to know many new things because I was not having much idea about Sankhya Yoga, and it was a little overwhelming also for me, to be honest. So I just request if you can just help me, if it is feasible in this session or separately, in like summary, what is the gist of like the total Sankhya, overall gist of the Sankhya?
Sure. I'll just tell you in a couple of sentences, not much. So the gist is that the entire universe, entire creation, and all the living entities, they're put in certain kind of a context, right? That is like we are inside a material nature, am I right? And we are inside a body, and
Yes,
right, and we are controlled by our minds, modes of material nature, and we are trying to protect our bodies, and we are trying to protect the bodies of our relatives. Now, we have to understand the metaphysics of this. That is the deeper workings, inner workings of this body and soul, that these instincts that we are getting, right, for maintaining ourselves, while they are fine, but if we too much submit to these instincts, we will lose the broader picture. The broader picture is that we are eternal living beings beyond this body, and we have an eternal life, and there is a supreme controller who is controlling the material nature, and we have to surrender to that supreme controller and do his devotional service. And that supreme controller is actually a person. He has got a name and he's got wonderful pastimes. It's very crystal clear. His identity is also very clear who he is. It's not that we are having some confusion or lack of clarity who he is. Supreme controller is fully known for us, right? So we know who is the supreme controller, and we know the process. The process is we have to surrender to his lotus feet and we have to serve him. So this is the process of bhakti. And we should actually meditate upon this beautiful form of the Lord. Lord has got the beautiful form, right? We're very lucky, I tell you, because there's so many religions in this world, and they are religious in some way or other, and they glorify Lord. But tell me something, do they have the opportunity to meditate upon the form of God. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Do they have the opportunity to meditate upon the form of God? No. Because they don't know. They have no information about the form of God. Do they have the opportunity to hear about the pastimes of God? No. They have no clue. They only know about the external manifestation of God, the material nature, and how he's conducting the universe, a little bit of it. That's it. That, everything is dependent upon him, basic knowledge. We have got access to Krishna's names, Krishna's form, Krishna's pastimes. And these are very powerful. This is devotional service. This is the conclusion. We must take advantage of this. We're very, very lucky. And we have got the complete knowledge Kapila has given. That what happens after death. Even this, the other religions, they don't know. They have no clue. After death, what happens? Ask them. They'll say something. It's not very convincing or logical or meaningful. We have got information. Sankhya Yoga is saying, after death, how the living entity is transmigrating into another species of life. And even before transmigration of the another species of life, we have the law of karma. Based on such, if the materialistic person is doing a lot of sinful activities, transferred to hellish planets. And Sankhya, Kapila Muni is giving detailed description of the hellish planets also. How the hellish planets are. What are the hellish planets? What kind of punishments are given them? Or heavenly planets. What kind of enjoyments are there for pious people? So living entity is first going to the heavenly planets or hellish planets, and then transmigrating to another body. So many forms of life are there around us. We can see that clearly. That the proof is, you can say, what is the proof? The proof is right in front of you. Am I right? You just go out and see, open some zoo, go to zoo, or see some National Geographic channel. On YouTube, you will see the millions of species of life. They are just like you and me. Okay, they are in a journey. The soul is going through a journey, right? So this journey is going, and it is not randomly going. It's not that randomly everybody is assigned to some living entity. No. It is all based on our efforts only. So it's just like how we plan. I plan that I want to stay in this city, in this apartment. I want to work in this job. I plan. Similarly, we have to plan where we want to be. Whether we want to be in this species of life, that species of life, this place, that. We want to get rid of this. We want to go back to home, back to what? All right? We want to go back to home, back to what? We don't want to get into any of these species and suffer all of this. And this species of life, I told you that they're suffering and they're struggling for life existence. They're killing each other, eating each other, and ultimately, finally, after a long time, they get human birth. They're getting the human birth also. It's an opportunity. That's the main point. Human birth is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for going back to home, back to what? That we should understand. There's a bigger picture is given. Complete cycle is given here. How to get out of this cycle is given. So it's a lot of theory, but simplest answer is just chant Hare Krishna. Sincerely, inoffensively. That was a very important statement that we saw today. I will say. We saw that even a dog eater can come to the stage of a Brahmana by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And Prabhupada said it is possible if a person chants inoffensively. So first thing is we should start chanting. Second thing, we should see how to chant inoffensively. These two. Third thing, we should do intense devotional service. That's it. We should do only these three things. That's it. Okay? That's the summary of the whole thing. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, devotees. Thank you very much.